When people gather, someone always says it. This is perfect. Someone should capture this. I wish we had a camera. And in that small sentence, something fractures. The idea that a moment is not enough on its own, that life must be documented to count, that reality requires proof, as if the present were too fragile to stand without witnesses, as if being here were not sufficient. There is something quietly tragic about this. The instant you try to preserve a moment, you step outside of it. The second you lift the camera, you lower your presence. To record is, in a subtle way, to withdraw. There is always gain. There is always loss. But we rarely admit what is lost. For years we have lived through lenses, glass between our eyes and the world. A small device in our hands, promising permanence. It looks harmless. It is not. The camera whispers, "This matters too much to let it pass." But while you frame the sunset, the wind moves without you. While you adjust exposure, someone laughs and the sound dissolves. While you press the shutter, life continues elsewhere. The photograph promises memory. It demands presence as payment. And the price is not symbolic, it is real. Neuroscience confirms what mystics sensed long ago. Memory is not a vault, it is reconstruction. Each time you recall an event, you alter it. Synaptic pathways shift, details erode. You do not revisit the past, you rewrite it. The brain is less an archive than a storyteller under pressure. What you keep is not what was. It is what your nervous system can still simulate. Yet we cling to the image. Photography, painting, recording, archiving. All of it springs from something older than art, older than culture. The refusal to vanish. To reproduce is to say, I was here. This happened. I existed. It is the same impulse behind children, monuments, books, empires. The same impulse behind religion, the terror of erasure. But every trace is a corpse of the present. The photo is not the kiss. It is the remains of warmth, a frozen outline of something that already slipped into silence. We pretend preservation defeats time. It does not. It only delays our acceptance of time's indifference. There are two common reactions to this. One says, let go. Live now. Don't cling. Be present. It sounds peaceful. It sounds enlightened. But underneath it is something severe. Memory binds you to what no longer exists. You replay the voice of someone who died. You scroll through images until your chest tightens. You hold on to objects as if they contain breath. We call it love. Often it is attachment to absence. The other reaction says the opposite. Record everything. Archive your life. Don't lose a second. Make it permanent. Homes become museums. Hard drives fill with curated nostalgia. Dates, signatures, frames, backups. A quiet war against decay. But this too is lifeless. You can surround yourself with evidence and still be haunted. You can document everything and experience almost nothing. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Without memory, life dissolves into a flicker. No continuity, no identity, no narrative. But if life becomes only memory, it turns into a prolonged funeral. You either drift without structure, or you live embalmed in what has already died. Wisdom does not choose a side. It holds the contradiction. Detach, and still participate. Love fully, knowing it will end. Create honestly, knowing it will be forgotten. History is clear about this. The vast majority of human beings who have ever lived are erased. Their names, their faces, their private fears and secret joys. Gone. Even great civilizations collapse into dust. Libraries burn, languages disappear, digital data degrades, servers fail, stars themselves exhaust their fuel. Nothing is being secured. The past does not exist anywhere except in neural activity occurring now. The future does not exist anywhere except in projection occurring now. There has never been a time other than this one. Memory feels solid because the brain stabilizes patterns. Identity feels solid because repetition creates familiarity. But solidity is a sensation, not a fact. Everything is process. Attachment and detachment move like a pulse, clench, release, inhale, exhale, birth, death. When you cling too tightly to life, it becomes heavy. Responsibility turns into suffocation. Meaning becomes pressure. When you detach too completely, it becomes hollow. Nothing matters. Nothing moves you. So consciousness oscillates. When illusion grows too thick, suffering cracks it. When emptiness grows too vast, desire rebuilds it. This is how balance happens. Not through wisdom, through tension. We often mistake clarity for strength, but total clarity would be paralyzing. Imagine seeing, without distortion, that your efforts will dissolve, that your relationships are temporary arrangements of chemistry, that your personality is a pattern of conditioned responses, that your moral certainty is shaped by culture and accident, that your free will is narrower than you believe. There would be no energy left to move. So the mind protects itself with partial illusions, plans, goals, stories about who you are. These are not failures, they are stabilizers. Complete lucidity is unlivable. We survive through selective blindness. Death, then, is not merely an ending, it is erasure. And erasure makes repetition possible. Without forgetting, existence would become unbearable. Imagine remembering every humiliation, every pain, every regret with full intensity. The nervous system would collapse under its own archive. Forgetting is not cruelty, it is mercy. The universe does not remember itself. That is why it does not tire. Stars explode, species vanish, continents shift. No apology, no nostalgia, only transformation. You are not separate from that process. You are a temporary configuration of matter aware of its instability. Nothing is being stored in a cosmic vault. Nothing is being permanently lost. There is only ongoing rearrangement. What disturbs most people is not that life lacks inherent meaning. It is that, even after seeing this, we continue. We wake up, we eat, we work, we desire, we repeat. Not because we understand, but because the body insists. There is something almost inhuman about total awareness. If you saw everything without distortion, motivation would evaporate. So consciousness never arrives whole. We live sedated by functional illusions, career paths, romantic destinies, personal growth narratives, spiritual hierarchies. They create enough coherence to keep us moving. Real spirituality does not begin with hope. It begins when hope collapses. Not decorative spirituality, not affirmations or aesthetic mysticism, but the kind that emerges when the ground disappears. When you realize there is no guaranteed justice, no cosmic reward system, no hidden script ensuring your suffering has a lesson attached. The universe does not punish, it does not compensate, it unfolds. Nihilism is not the end, it is the desert. In the desert, comforting lies dehydrate. Beliefs crack under heat. Everything unnecessary dies. Most people build altars there. They name the first relief they find as truth. They stop walking. But if you continue, there are no grand revelations waiting. There is silence. This silence does not comfort you. It does not explain your pain. It does not tell you that you matter. It simply remains. And strangely, something shifts. Not meaning. Honesty. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? You start asking, how do I move within this? How do you live without guarantees? How do you love without permanence? How do you act without cosmic validation? Not with enthusiasm, not with despair, with a kind of dry acceptance. You stop expecting life to rescue you. You stop trying to destroy it out of resentment. You participate without negotiation. There is a mature sadness here, not theatrical, not self-pitying, a quiet melancholy that does not demand attention. It understands that bodies deteriorate, relationships fracture, projects fail. Every structure decays if given enough time. Entropy is not personal, it is physical law. The mystical insight, stripped of fantasy, is not that you are chosen. It is that you are passing. You are not central. You are not required for the cosmos to function. And this can feel crushing until it feels light. When you accept that your absence will not break the world, the pressure softens. When you accept that you will be forgotten, urgency relaxes. When you stop believing you must justify your existence, movement becomes simpler. You did not choose to be born. You did not choose your era, your genetic code, your early conditioning. Your margin of control is narrow, and yet you carry guilt as if you designed the entire system. Maturity is seeing that merit and blame are often exaggerated narratives layered over complex causality. You are less an author than an event, a process unfolding within other processes. Continuing to live after realizing this is not heroic. It is not cowardly. It is what happens when the organism is still operational. You eat when hungry, sleep when tired, speak when words arise, without demanding redemption. Perhaps the most honest spirituality is this: to live without guarantees, without insisting that suffering must educate you, without converting pain into mythology, without expecting reward. To move through experience as weather moves across land. And when exhaustion deepens, when repetition becomes too heavy, when silence presses too close, forgetting will come, not as punishment, as rest. Nothing here needs to be beautiful. Nothing needs to inspire. Life is not a message. It is an occurrence, temporary, unstable, unsecured. And perhaps peace begins when you stop asking it to be anything else. There is no grand conclusion, no elegant closing, only this moment, raw, imperfect, enough, and then another, until there isn't. Everything is an illusion, and still, you're here. There is something strange about the fact that you're watching this. Out of billions of people, in the middle of infinite noise, you stopped. You chose to listen, to reflect, to confront ideas that most people avoid. That alone says something. We live in a world obsessed with distraction, endless scrolling, endless opinions, endless performance, everything competing for attention, for validation, for proof that it matters. But beneath it all, there's a quiet truth we rarely admit. Most of what we chase is fragile. Most of what we defend is temporary. Most of what we fear losing was never ours to begin with. Status fades, beauty fades, memory fades. Even identity shifts like sand under pressure. We build narratives to feel stable. We collect moments to feel permanent. We hold on to people, titles, beliefs, as if gripping them tightly will stop time from moving. It won't. Everything dissolves. And yet, here you are, still thinking, still questioning, still searching for something deeper than comfort. That matters, not in a grand cosmic sense. The universe does not pause to applaud self-awareness, but in a human sense. In this small, fragile exchange between minds across a screen, this channel exists because there are people who are willing to look at the uncomfortable. People who don't just want entertainment, but confrontation. Not noise, but depth. That includes you. In a world addicted to surface-level content, choosing reflection is an act of quiet rebellion. It's not loud, it's not glamorous, but it's rare. And rarity has weight. If these ideas resonate with you, if they make you pause, if they unsettle you in a productive way, if they help you see the world with sharper honesty, then you are already part of something here. Just watching, just listening, just thinking alongside these words. That already supports this work more than you realize. Every view, every minute of attention, every share with someone who needs to hear it, that keeps this space alive. And that is not taken lightly. But there's another layer. If you feel that this content adds something meaningful to your life, clarity, perspective, intellectual companionship, you can choose to go further. Becoming a member of the channel isn't just a badge. It's a way to stand closer to the core of what we're building here. Members get exclusive content, deeper discussions, early access, and a more direct connection to the ideas before they fully unfold. It's a smaller circle, more intimate, more intentional. It's not about status, it's about alignment. And if membership isn't your path, the Super Thanks feature is another way to directly support the creation of this content. It's a simple gesture, but it carries meaning. It says, "This mattered to me." It says, "Keep going." That kind of encouragement has weight. Creating content that challenges illusions isn't the easiest road. It doesn't chase trends. It doesn't flatter the ego. It asks people to think, to question, sometimes to feel uncomfortable. Support makes that sustainable. But let's be honest, you don't owe anything. You being here, giving your time, the one thing you can never get back, is already a contribution. Attention is currency. Presence is currency. And you've given both. If you choose to become a member, you strengthen this space. If you choose to use Super Thanks, you fuel its growth. If you choose to simply watch, reflect, and share, you are still part of it. Nothing is permanent. Not this channel, not these videos, not even us. But while it exists, we can make it real. And if you feel that connection, if something in these words echoes inside you, then maybe this isn't just content. Maybe it's a quiet community of people who refuse to sleepwalk through life. If that resonates, consider taking the next step. And if not, stay, watch, think, question. That alone already means more than you know.